Pike's pushed more and forward up ahead. He's got out of line. Is now Pike going to have a go at Werrell? Don't push him off. He's in the championship fight. Jack Werrell chasing down Carl Jacklin. Further down, Rob Williams and Chris Barnes.
Sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's come back into play. Exactly. Miller's still such up. He's not on second and change. All of a sudden, Miller's back in play.
Moving on to the back end of Phil Jocelyn. So there's been a lot of movers and shakers in this first 2 laps here for race.
Absolutely serious racing league. Everybody's a lot of fun. Yeah, it's all about the entertainment. So I hope everybody is enjoying themselves out there in the chat. We know that Ron is been enjoying himself watching the Burger King machines off into the grass a little bit there as they're really bunching up now.
Coming down
Does he have it?
Medeiros is going to get it. Medeiros
They're going to toss it! They haven't got it!
He's on the outside line though, going into the fastest corner on the circuit. Surely this can't work.
Dominic Ligner has got a sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's come back into play. Exactly. Miller's still such up. He's not on second and change. All of a sudden, Miller's back in play.
Can Barry do it? Big Barry's going to do it. Big Barry! Good evening and welcome back to the penultimate round, the final round, round 6 here of the Sunday Drive Racing GT3 on a Monday here live from Kyalami, and that is where we currently are today. 4.529 kilometers, 2.814 miles, 16 turns of absolute incredible action here from South Africa. It's myself, James Parfitt, and Dean Biggles into the booth with you once more again for what plans to be an epic season finale, and we can bring you up the current championship standards here currently at the moment in the Drivers' Championship. We have got Tony Rodriguez out in front on 61 points in the pros, with Rob Lau on 58, Eric Chu 55, Jason Ludwig on 54, and Eric Dong on 52, with Charles Ho on 50, JB Alcabar 47, Arthur Chu 42, James Lamont 42, Michael Gilbert all on 42 points. In the AMs, we've got Rich Lee on 68, Chris Namak 66, Sego Ma on 57, Rail Tova on 51, tied with Nick Show, Matt O'Dore 47, Jake Hanlon 44, Juwan Namak 40 with Alex Lee on 40, and Christopher Kim on 36 points. In the team standings, Rideshare Racing out in front currently on 118 with Charles Ho and Rich Lee. Cage in the Fear in second with Rob Lau and Rail Tova. Red Bull Racing with James Namak and Chris Namak. And McMurk Happy Meal with Tony Rodriguez and Juwan Namak. Arthur Chu and Sego Bar make up the team of Forgot to Practice. Fear the Cage is in 6th there with Eric Dong, Jake Hanlon. Lee Van Racing with Eric Chu and Alex Lee. Shake and Bake Racing in 8th with JB Alcabar and Matt O'Dore. Something Clever Racing with Michael Gilbert and Chris Kim, and then True Racing with Jason Ludwig and Matthew Orpheus brings up the rear. And well, it's the final round. There is 16 points up for grabs currently for these guys as well, and it could be anyone's game up the front of the field with Tony Rodriguez and Rob Lau separated by only 3 points in the pros, and Rich Lee and Chris also on 3 as well, and that is going to bring it very close together. But you've listened to me ramble on enough as we've got 5.5 minutes remaining of practice. Let's bring Mr. Biggles into the booth. Good evening, sir. How are you?
Good evening, of course. Welcome along to the old Sunday night racing course on the Monday night for the finale, as you'd mentioned here at the moment in round 6 in South Africa. You'd like to say, as you said as well too, James, a bit of a close battle, of course, as tearing down there. Tony Rodriguez 61 points there, Rob Lau 68 to 66, of course. Rich Lee and Chris there for the AM Championships. Out there in the chat, we did have a little bit of a shout out there. Says, wait, what? Let's go at 49 now. The 49 machine, of course, is talking about is Michael Gilbert.
Jake Hanlon.
Jake Hanlon, that's it. Sorry, at the moment I'm looking at 2 different screens. I was looking at yours there, James. Jake Hanlon, the sphere of the cage. Now, Jake, of course, in the championship there, James, he's got a chance to get a few places. 44 points, of course. So you go up to about 51 where you look at Raul there, and maybe Sergio 57, maybe a little bit out of reach, but then again, you never know.
Yeah.
He can jump quite a few places depending on what's happening.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a close one, I think, here as well. Which car has the best lighting setups? Well, as you can see, it's in the dark here, and there was a comment made earlier on by one of the drivers who literally said, Joseph Lau said, yep, can't see nothing. So that doesn't bode well as we're coming into the final round here as well. And Joseph is down here currently. There he is in the BMW with his lights on as well. To be honest with you, they're all fairly decent, but it's what practice the drivers have done in the dark that's really going to open this up, I think, as well. And Eric Chu is in the BMW. Tony Rodriguez is in the Mercedes, of course. And then Rob Lau, who is unfortunately, by the looks of it, not... Oh, yes, he is. He's down in 21st place. Currently is Rob, so it's not looking good for him. He's going to have to get on a bit here as well before we go into qualifying. 3 minutes remaining left of practice here as well. I would say the worst ones have got to be the Porsches. They've only got the 2 lights. I think the Mercedes and the BMW have got 4, if I'm not mistaken, because they've got lights on the bottom as well. So they've got their main lights and also what is classed over in the UK as fog lights at the base that can help them with lighting. But so probably the Merc or the BMW. Porsche probably not so much as well. And I think at the end of the day, some of the other manufacturers, the Ferraris, the Audis, the Hondas that we've got on, and the McLaren as well, and Rob Lau down in the Porsche, are going to possibly be struggling a little bit here. I think that's one of the things that we are going to have to look out for. How is their driving in the dark, Biggles? What do we think, what practice do we think they've done driving in the dark?
Well, but first of all, James, if there's an American pickup there, if you had a Ford or a Chevy or something like that, you'd have like a spotting bar at the top there. You'd have tons of light all over the factor, but we've just zoomed automatically back in the daylight at the moment, so I don't think we have to worry too much about that for our qualifying session. But you're going back to that one too, mate. I know it's an unfortunate thing to say, but I'm going to say it. Unfortunately, South Africa has been under a lot of power outages lately. I know a lot of people, a lot of friends and drivers and stuff from South Africa. They do have regular blackouts, so perhaps that's also one of the reasons why too that They were driving around the dark in South Africa, but that's out of our control and out of their control. But at the moment, James, qualifying's about to start. Has started, and
We're in the
no
light.
more night time.
Yeah, we're in the light. We're back in the light. It's the light. I can see the light, Jesus. Oh. And these guys are out on track as well. If you haven't ever driven around Kyalami, they are coming round Sunset. It does tell you in the top right-hand corner there as well what corner they are on. Turn 6 currently, as you can see, is Clubhouse, which is the left-hander here. As well, and turn 7 is through the S's, which is the left and right. So there you go, through the right-hander we go. But we are in daylight, we are in qualifying. They've got 15 minutes to get time on the board. See who comes out on top of the standings. Who are you predicting, Biggles, going to win the championship?
You always do that to me, James, don't you?
Yep.
Put me on the spotlight all the time. They will be in the spotlight, so that's the reason why they were practicing before, because it's 6 p.m. local time. So when the qualifying is over and we'll get the race done, they will definitely eventually back into that nighttime racing. So go into this one. I'd have to say, my picks on Tony Rodriguez. He's been quick through those practice sessions. The mech looks good. Tony looks fast. He's the one to win the pro standings.
Yeah, I think you're probably not wrong there. I've got a funny feeling my money is on this man as well. Now, I'd like to point out something here. The other day, I got a request, right? If you don't know what happens here in the UK is when I generally finish this, I go and get some breakfast, right? And I go and get a McDonald's, because that's what I've got near me. So I go and get a McDonald's breakfast. Well, the other day, after the last race, Biggles, they asked for a photo of my breakfast, which I sent them, because I'm nice like that. I sent a photo of a double sausage and egg McMuffin meal, a cup of coffee, and a hash brown. Well, to my amazement, they've actually stuck that photo on the McMurk Happy Meal roof.
Oh, James.
So my breakfast is floating around on Tony Rodriguez's car currently. You can see there is just the white bit that you can't see. I'm trying to get close enough. I'm not entirely sure if I can actually get any closer. You just see the coffee cup sticking out the top there. And yeah, so they've taken the picture and literally stuck it on the roof of the car. So my breakfast is currently floating around South Africa here as well. So there we go.
I saw that in the Discord, actually, James. Yeah, you're rubbing it in, but mate, don't you forget, I will be back in Panama City, as I was speaking to you in the green room before. So I will be going to jump some breakfast. Well, probably not the same time as you, of course. It will be a little bit different late at night. Trying to get a breaking job. But yes, exactly. Well, that's Tony's. Look at that. Isn't that showing the love there for the JP Broadcasting Network, my friend, by slapping your food consumption on Mr. Tony Rodriguez's car?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's going to be, yeah, rather interesting. I'm not sure what I'm going to get today, to be honest with you. I've been up a very long while and I might just end up going to bed. Jake Hanlon, as you've asked, you've retracted the message, Zach. How do we think Jake will get on? Well, Jake's had a very up and down season here as well in this Audi, so I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. He could do rather well, and then he could possibly not do so good. So we'll have to see how he gets on and see how he does here. The Deltas on the left-hand side, obviously, if they're green, they are improving. If they're red, they're not improving. And if they're grey, they're pretty much as they are. We have got a lot of new drivers joined in this race. Joseph Lau, I think it's Lau, but I'm probably going to be told it's Lee. L-A-I? How would you pronounce it?
You're the English school teacher, my friend. You tell me how to pronouse the English language properly.
So that technically is Li. But I'm not entirely sure on that one. And we've also got a couple of other drivers here as well. Where is Jack Wishmeyer is currently here in the Ferrari. So Jack's joined us for the final round. Michael Hilo has also joined us here and for the final round as well, which is great for them. Hopefully, don't forget, guys, if you want to get yourself involved, all the links are down in the YouTube description below. You can come and get yourself involved in it at the same time. They have just launched sign-ups for their next season, so come and get along for that one. The season opens on June 26th, so practically 2 weeks' time, where they would be doing pre-season sprint testing at Watkins Glen, and then we will have round 1 Barcelona on July 10th. As well. So if you want to get yourself involved, come along, join in and get yourself involved. We've got Edgar Lau, who's also new in that Sky liveried car there as well. And unfortunately for Edgar, he's just had a little bit of a moment. Chris Wong here currently down in 23rd place as well. We've got a 1.2 second improvement by Mr. Rich Lee in 11th place. Let's see how Rich gets on here as well. I do love the Ferrari with their straw-like aerial sticking out the top of their car. That's made me, yeah.
Well, speaking of Ferraris, of course, if you did watch the Le Mans.
I did watch the end.
Exactly. So, yeah, good on the Ferraris getting it done there in the hypercar class, but at the moment we're a little bit slower here in the GT3s.
I wonder how all them fans got on in the Ferrari when they went into the pits. I bet they were like, pit stop, anxiety, let's see what happens.
Oh, yeah, of course. Well, Charles was there, of course. Trying to support the Ferrari team along, Charles Leclerc. So I mean, I wonder if the team was like, "No, please, Charles, stay away, mate. We don't need any of that Ferrari F1 drama here. We're doing quite well by ourselves." Thankfully, touch wood, they didn't. In fact, it was more the Toyota that had a little bit of an issue. But of course, that was on track late into that one. Spoiler alert if you have not seen it.
Yeah, I did.
You know what it's like, isn't it? Endurance race, James. You just went through an endurance race, of course, raising a ton of funds, of course, for the children's charity.
Yes, we did. We raised money on Sunday for the Rainbow Trust. They help terminally ill children here in the UK. And we set a target of £2,000. And we actually raised, currently at the moment, £2,580. £2,580, and we got a very generous donation from a gentleman that none of us know, who donated £400 to the charity. To take
400 quid.
£400 to take us over the 2,000 mark, and then that was still, we still have 4.5 hours to go, and then we raised the other nearly 600 there as the rest of the show went on. So it was a really good event. We had lots of drivers involved. There was like 42 teams, I think, in the end. People were laps down, but just wanted to finish the race, and they did do. They would one team was like 25 laps down after using the fast repairs and crashes, but they just wanted to finish the race because of the charity, and they did an absolutely stellar job, and they did get to the end. So yeah, well done to everybody that took part, and well done to everybody that finished the race. It was a tough one.
Love it. Hey, you got to finish the race, of course. Especially in a charity event. I think in any of the races and leagues and stuff like that you're in, just finish the race. It's fun to see the checker flag. Doesn't matter what position you are. We know that Mr. Eric Chu at the moment has seen the checker flag a little bit quicker than everybody else. He's got a nice gap there, about 3/10. That's the 8 BMW machine. Set that time pretty early as well, 6 minutes remaining in qualifying. Setting a statement here with the man that's currently, if I'm not mistaken there, James, third in the championship on 55 points.
He is. There's an opportunity for him to win, for Eric Chu, but he's got a bit of a fight on his hands. I'm not going to lie. He's got to get past the ever-flying Tony Rodriguez. He's got to get by Rob Lau, who unfortunately is not doing so well in that Porsche. Currently sitting down in 25th at the moment. He's improving currently by 0.2. So let's see how he gets on, but he's not loving Kyalami at the moment. So unfortunately for Rob Lau, he may just lose the championship on the final round of the season here, which would be a shame for him. Nick Show's just had a little bit of an off. Jake Hanlon is another man who's stopped as well. Jack Wishmeyer is in 5th. He's just put that Ferrari in 5th place, so great job from him. Eric Chu, 141.662. Absolutely flying currently at the moment as well. Matt O'Dore is another one in 14th. That is currently up 0.6. Let's see how Matt gets on here in what plans to be a very interesting race, I think, Biggles, to be honest, here at Kyalami. I think it's going to provide a lot of action for these drivers, and one that I think we can look excited for.
Especially in the cooler temperatures, as it's going to go, obviously, into nighttime racing, as we saw during the practice session. It's going to catch some of those drivers off. Who's better in those evening with those lights and stuff like that, a bit of blinding on you, spotting your apex into your corners, hitting your braking point, of course, if you've got the cars all lined astern around there. James, this is the second time around tonight, isn't it? You're casting some GT3 racing, this time around ACC, but did you do some GT3s earlier?
Yeah, LSRL, GT3, we finished literally about an hour and a half. No, hour and a half ago, give or take, as well. So obviously with the JPB doing the Clio Cup that we did earlier on as well. Yeah, I've been a busy boy this evening. I've not slept.
Which would be, is there any particular, well, they're obviously talking about different GT3 cars, of course, with the ACC and iRacing, but in comparison, which would be your favorite car actually on, say, iRacing and ACC if you had to pick a GT3?
The Mercedes AMG.
Okay. On both?
Yeah, both, I think.
Wow.
The Porsche is better on ACC than it is on iRacing, but I still think that the Mercedes AMG, if it's driven properly, and not saying I know how to drive it, so please don't put in YouTube chat, come on James, show me a lap, because it won't be very good. But I think the Merc is, I like the Merc. It sounds good, it looks good, it's got power, it's got balance. Not everybody likes it, don't get me wrong. You know, people have spun it up and put it round in the wall and all that other jazz that goes with it. But I think at the end of the day, I think if you can get it under control, tame the beast, as they say, and yeah, you'll do well in that Merc.
That's very, very interesting. So what we know, one person that's done well in the Merc, hasn't it? Tony Rodriguez, who isn't quite setting the best time of his life currently at the moment here, but 3 minutes and change to go. However, we know the man is leading the championship, and he is in your favourite car.
He is, and also my breakfast is currently the fastest breakfast on track. Right, point now.
True.
There it goes. My double sausage and egg McMuffin meal here as well. But Tony is currently
Double?
yeah, I was.
I didn't know you could get a double. I just get a regular sausage and egg. I didn't know you could get a double.
Right, no, you need to go in and ask for a double sausage and egg McMuffin now and see if you can get a double.
How do I do that in Spanish?
Hold on, I'll have a go.
You were in Spain recently.
Yeah, it's una hamburger con queso, which is
with cheese. Yes, you got that one. How would you say the egg and the double? Don't worry about that. Maybe somebody in the chat would get it. You don't need to ask for that too much. But I doubt when you're in Spain, you're eating McDonald's anyway. Time you were there.
Well, there was a McDonald's there. We had Burger King instead.
Okay. Any different than Starwood?
Mate, I tell you what, a Burger King in Spain was gorgeous. I had wedges, potato wedges, with bacon and cheese on. It was really nice. Really, really nice.
You don't get that in the UK?
No, we don't get it over here.
Oh.
Okay, so you've got to ask for a McMuffin Double del Salcacchia un Huevo.
Huevo, that's egg, yes. Okay. All right. Okay, got that. So it's the other one I would mess up.
McMuffin Double.
Where did you read that, James? Did you just Google that? I didn't see that in the chat.
I Googled it. I Googled double sausage and egg McMuffin in Spanish, and it says McMuffin.
What about to drink? Wait, what's asking?
Well, you can ask for a cafe en leche, which is obviously cafe with milk. And if you want sugar, then obviously cafe con leche con azúcar.
Azúcar.
Yeah.
Correct, though.
So yeah, McMuffin Double del Salcacchia Huevo.
You probably do it better than me, James, and I've been living here for a ton of time.
Qualifying's
practically down about a minute and change, so Mr. Rodriguez got a bit of a mountain to climb at the moment, mate, in P10, but we know if anybody can do it. It's the man with the breakfast of James on top of his motor vehicle, the 55 machine. Definitely a task, do it. I mean, you're going to remember too, Mr. Eric Dong and Lutwig as well, too, from last week. Did some great results, got themselves on the podium and looking themselves to secure a little bit more on championship. Is it possible, James, mathematically, that they can beat Mr. Rodriguez?
Tony's got to have a dreadful race. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
Because it's 16 points and then all the way down to 1 point further down. So they've got to get it, got to do it for now.
Hey, Whip.
Well,
it is possible.
It is possible. So it is possible, but they need Rodriguez to have an absolute awful race, basically. Let's just put it that way. So,
and he hasn't had many of them this season, James, so the odds are stacked against them, I'd have to say, and or against Tony. His qualifying's over, James.
Yeah, it definitely is here as well. Just waiting for the cars to come through. And, yeah. Anything else? Wait, what about the drink? Oh, is that the one we answered?
That was the one before.
Oh,
Who is Wait What, by the way, too, James? And also, you got to give it to the Sheilas, right? In the was it the GD3 class in the Le Mans?
Did you just call them
when did they finish? What were they? Sorry?
Sheilas.
Yeah, the girl team. The ladies' team. I
Yeah.
can't remember the dames' team. That's it. Does anyone remember the name of that team?
No, I
They
don't.
did a fantastic drive in the Le Mans GT3 series. Somebody will let me know, surely. There.
You got to be politically
I
correct about it.
I couldn't see the end of it, James, but it was an all Sheila team. They were called the Dames.
Oh,
Let's look it up.
I don't know. Sorry, I can't help you with that one. I don't
I'll
know.
look it up. The Iron Dames.
Oh, okay.
Oh, they missed out on a podium. No, but they were close. They were in a podium position, James. Just looking it up, the results actually.
Oh, okay. How did
Yeah,
they
the
get on?
GTE AM event. Yeah. Fluorescent pink, mate. Driving Porsche, the Iron Danes didn't get unnoticed. 62 cars, remember?
Oh, nice.
Yeah, well, I'm going to give it to the Sheilas, mate.
Sheilas. Still love it about it. You calling them Sheilas.
Well, that's what we call them in Australia. Yeah, Iron Dames, yeah. Yeah. Well, you need more women in motor racing, you know that for a fact, James. And they're getting themselves that close to podiums. Well, mate, they say chicks have taken over the world, mate. And they're going to take over our motor racing as well, too. They're so good. What are we going to do after this, James?
After this, mate, I'm going to bed. I don't know what you're doing. I'm off to sleep. So yeah, I'm going to go.
Yeah, I'm off to bed too, mate.
I'm going to go sleep and probably sleep in for quite a while there as well. So
So you have to
we'll
cast
wait.
again.
Yeah, tomorrow night, 2 tomorrow night. So we are just waiting for all the cars to get back into the garage, and then we'll line up on the grid, and then we will bring you up the grid as I sit here and hope and pray that this grid walk works, and hopefully it should work fine. There's gritting his teeth and hoping that it does work. Sure it will, but
It will, James.
it will.
To the Lord. It has to.
It has to, yes. That's what I say. It has to work, so let's hope it does.
Now, it is going to be cloudy too, James. There is a possibility of a bit of rain. We don't know. It's going to be cooler.
I wonder if it is going to rain today.
That's the one thing that we do obviously miss in iRacing, that we do get in ACC, is that chance of possible rain. The track's optimum. 25 degrees temperature track, 24 degrees Celsius air. So 1 degree between it, 7 kilometer hour wind. So it is perfect conditions right now for, we'll see how it pans out obviously when you go into the race conditions, but that should be about the start of the race, James, as you said. Grid should come up very soon.
Yeah, we are just waiting for them to go in and waiting for it to change over to the race session, and then we will bring you up the grid there as well. All in all though, I did watch some of Le Mans and I did see some wonderful incidents at a very slow pace, so that was quite interesting. Now we've got Eric Chu on pole. Is this going to work 100%? You can do it. Yes. We got Eric Chu in first place there with Jason Ludwig in second. Behind that, we've got Eric Dong and Rich Lee in fourth. In fifth place, we've got Charles Ho. Sixth place is Sego Ma. And then in seventh, we've got Jack Wishmeyer. Eighth is Rob Lau. Ninth is Alex Shen. There we go. And in 10th place, we've got JB Alcabar. And Tony Rodriguez is in 11th. Matt O'Dore is in 13th place here as well. And 13th is Nick Show. 14th is Arthur Chu. 15th is James Namak. 16th is Jake Hanlon. 17th is Chris Namak. 18th is Michael Hillo. 19th is Michael Gilbert. Ewan Namak in 20th. Ray Altova 21st. Edgar Lau in 22nd. And then you've got Chris Wong in 23rd place. Alex Lee in 24th. Eric Santos is in 25th. And then in final position is Joseph Lau in 26th place. So that was the grid there as well. And that worked. I'm very impressed.
I told you, James, you have little confidence. Of course, you had to believe in the Sunday Driving Racing ACC systems for presenting their graphics. Of course, Wait What's It's hopefully not as bad as the rain that was in Le Mans. What I did miss is, you know, my mate Lee Diffie that does the the casting. He was casting the Le Mans as well, man. I think you might have got it over there in the UK, but I couldn't, unfortunately, in the US get any of his casting. I got stuck with some other British guys, which were good, an American caster as well. However, I didn't get my buddy Lee, mate, my Brisbane boy, my Toowoomba, Ipswich boy.
No, well, you do.
Queensland.
You kind of have to say that he was good, really, don't you? Because it looks a bit offensive if you turn around and say
he's always got inviting him over to cast it with Alex Jackson, stuff like that, of course, for the Le Mans. Yeah, you know that, James. And remember, too, I'm still going to try to get him here when he gets some times here on the JP Broadcaster Network for a bit of a yarn, mate. So you and me, you can pick his brain.
Yeah, well, mine, they sent me the invite for Le Mans 24 hours, but I just turned them down. They didn't.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I turned them down. They didn't offer enough, and you know, it just wasn't worth my time going out there.
You don't want to be in another award nominee or commentator a year?
Well, I figured I'd let other people have a go this time around, Biggles, to be honest, on that one. So,
fair enough.
Yeah, as we are starting the pace lap, currently out by Cheetah turn 14. And then we're going to be underway for an hour's race with a pit stop. Don't forget as well, Christian Pontenti, welcome in. Thank you so much for joining us here as well, as these guys, led by Eric Chu, are coming round into the final turn here at Kyalami in South Africa. We are going round Ingwe, final turn on the circuit, and then we are going to be green, down onto that run. Down into turn 1. There are the cars there. There is Eric Chu, there's Eric Dong, Jason Ludwig, Rich Lee. Is he going to go? Oh, you brake checked him, you nasty man. Eric Dong's going to get himself a penalty there. I'm pretty sure if we are underway here, Eric Dong will possibly get a penalty for jumping the start and going past the leader before he got down past the finishing line. So Eric Dom, check yourself out, because I think you could end up with a penalty incoming. Charles Hose making a move through further back as well. Charles in 4th place there on track. He's currently making moves as much as he can. He's up as well into 4th. Then we've got Rob Lau, who unfortunately has dropped down the order currently at the moment. Your championship leader, Tony Rodriguez in the Merc, is in the mix as these guys are coming up around turn 4. Up through Barbecue we go, the right-hander. And how is this going to work out for Tony Rodriguez? Everybody through currently. There's a bit of argy-bargy. I'm not going to lie, there was elbows out further down the order with Chris Namack as well. But currently at the moment, Tony Rodriguez is in 7th place here, Biggles. And he really needs to get and stay in front of Rob Lau. And Rob is right behind him.
Yeah, he did a fantastic job. Just got through another one as well, too. So he's up into 6. He got a fantastic launch. It was 4 abreast almost into one of the corners. But one of the reasons why is because Rich Lee, unfortunately, went off track at the moment, and that put Rich Lee down at P20 at the moment. That's crucial, remember, for Rich Lee's AM Championship hopes there as well, too, James. And there's a spin, and it goes into Rich Lee as well. It's a bit of a pile-up there back there, James.
Matt O'Dore.
Oh.
O'Dore started that one off, I think. We can have a look back at that. Very
yeah, he
shortly.
lost it, James, and slid straight into Rich Lee, as I was just talking to him about it. Didn't want to bring that bad commentator's curse to him, James. We'll have the replay.
Well, there is Matt there. Oh, he's made contact with Helio. And then unfortunately, he got taken out there as well. And unfortunately, oh, there was more. And then there was even more going on further back. And unfortunately, it looked a little bit chaotic from O'Dore there, who looked like a bit of a passenger on that one, Biggles. I'm not going to lie. Like he got driven into as we go back to live pictures now. And it is Jack Wishmeyer who is putting the pressure here as well on JB Alcabar. In front of him currently at the moment is Ferrari and these Porsche. Ferrari's going sideways. That's not going to be a good way of getting through. Arthur Chu down in 12th place, battling away as well with Michael Helio up front. And at the end of the day, Tony Rodriguez here, Biggles, sitting in 6th place and only 0.4 of a second away from Alex Shen in front.
He was very lucky as well, Tony Rodriguez. It's just, I guess, his driving style, isn't it? To be in the right place at the right time, because he was certainly mounting a nice challenge there at the start of the race, James, and then that's where it went a little bit pearl-shaped that you saw in those pictures before the replay. That was just up the road there, and Mr. Rodriguez managed to survive through there, and that puts Mr. Rich Lee in the pit road right now for a very long time, getting some repairs done. So his championship hopes, remember, the man that's leading currently the AM Championship standings is in pit road plump last.
it definitely is. But Rodriguez, who's leading the pros, is in 6th place. He's looking at going up the inside of Alex Shen. He just sends it on the inside there as well. Job done for him as he's going around turn 13 into 14 currently at the moment. There's action packed further down. Joseph Lau is on, Edgar Lau. Alex Lee has just lost a place to Chris Namak, Matt O'Dore as well. Further back, but it is with Jack Wishmeyer all at the same time. He's battling away with JB Alcabar, the Ferrari and the Porsches on track currently. Eric Chu further up is also chasing down Eric Dong here. I'm surprised Dong has not got a penalty, but going past the leader before the checkered flag, before the green flag.
Yeah, that's very interesting, as I said there, because Eric Chu had the pole position and one of the quickest times you've seen around this track. And at the moment, settling for that P2, he's not too far down the road, so I'm sure he's going to be sizing up his opportunity to take that one, probably on the radio there, talking to his team, saying, why isn't that man, Mr. Dong, getting a penalty? Well, that's one for the race control. But we remember, James, we have 55 minutes left of this race. We still have mandatory pit stops for most of the drivers, so as I said, it looks like Arthur Lee might have, Alex Lee's gone on a little bit off track excursion down in P23. There's a couple of overtakes there, P9 and P10 as well too, James. Action all over the place, that's what you expect. The last round here for Sunday night driving.
Yeah, they are, but it's this front battle with Chu, with Dong. Can Chu do it? Well, that's the question with Eric Chu here. Because he's currently on, what is he on? 55 points, right? So he's on 55. He's sitting in 2nd place at the moment. So Eric Chu is on 14 points, which would put him on 69. Rodriguez, oh no, he's not. He's off. Eric Chu, keep it on track. Rodriguez is in 5th, which would be at 11. So he would still win the championship. So it needs Eric Chu to win and Tony Rodriguez to finish further down the order. But unfortunately for everyone, Tony Rodriguez is not finishing down the order, as Chris Wong looks like he is into the pits when the camera catches up. No, he's still on track there, having a nice little tiny battle with Alex Lee. They're making contact side by side currently at the moment, and Lee has just gone past all the way down in 22nd and 23rd. Jake Hanlon in the middle, battling away with Michael Gilbert here this evening. It's going to be a tough one to work out these championship, I think, Biggles, as well, because there's a lot involved in backwards and forwards and people swapping, and if he finishes here, he's going to earn this many and all that. We'll keep an eye on it as best we possibly can, of course, but I think it's going to be a tough one.
It will be a tough one. On top of it, you got to both remember Pro and AM and championship standings, as well as the team championships. Remember, we do have a very close battle with Cajun Interference Red Bull Racing Team, separated by a point. A bit down the road, you got the McMurk Happy Meal, you got Rideshare Racing with about almost a 9-point lead, so that can switch rude, but obviously we'll be focusing more on the Drivers' Championship before we calculate those championship standings. But so far, Tony Rodriguez putting that car in the right place, and James, stop cursing some of those drivers up the road, especially Mr. Chu, as he dropped that place down at P3.
Yeah, I'm not saying anything else. Rob Lau is chasing down Sego Mart. Rob in the BMW, of course. They have got a mandatory pit stop. That pit stop is signified by the 1 on the left-hand side. When they do pit, it will go green, okay? As these guys are coming out of turn 13 at this moment in time, leading down into 14. And it is currently Rob Lau still chasing them down. What exactly can Rob see? Well, that is what Rob sees in front, and it is the one and only Sego Mar that Rob sees currently as they're around the final corner and off down the start finishing straight. Once again here for another lap with 52 minutes on the clock. Still battling away nicely as they go down into turn 1. It's going to be an interesting one with battles all the way through. Oh, Chris Namak, what have you been up to?
Oh, he's taking the wrong way around too, James, and now he can't do a turn here. He's going to have to wait.
Let's have a look and see what
and
Chris
wait a little bit longer
to.
too. Otherwise, he's got to get on gas pedal and just try to slide it around. Now he's backing up. He's going to be in a dangerous zone here at the moment. The car's coming around the corner. Very, very lucky not electing to go on the pit road, but there drops a couple of places. Now P22. So was a moment, I think, there as well too, James, from one of the other drivers.
No, it was Chris's moment, and he hit the wall. He hit the wall as well, did Chris Namak, and unfortunately for him, he is literally needs to be in front of Rich Lee to have a chance of winning this championship. And Chris there is going to have a very, very badly dented Audi here as well. He's going back to live pictures once again on board with 10th place JB Alcabar. Further down the order, Michael Gilbert battling away here with Jake Hanlon in the machine in front of him.
Oh,
number 49.
more than that. Who's that sneaking through?
That was Nick Show. Not Nick Show. That was a Ferrari had come through in front of these guys as well.
Is that? It's not track position, is it?
No, I don't think it is, but track position. I think needs that could be Rich Lee coming back through the field, to be honest.
It could, that far back, he's I'm showing 40-something seconds down the road there from everybody, but who knows?
No, he's unfortunately down. He is 41 seconds back, but he's just coming through the field because Rich is obviously.
Oh yeah, okay.
So he's just working his way back through the field. Tony Rodriguez is battling away here with Charles Ho. So, and also in front of Tony currently at the moment. Who are we looking at? There is the Charles Ho and Alex Shen. Shen's behind him. Tony's there, Charles is there, and let's see what Rodriguez can do here currently on track as they are going around turn 5, which is Sunset, up to the run, up into Clubhouse Bend. The left-hander, can Tony make gains? He's only got to finish really in front of Rob Lau, and at the moment Rob is about 5.5 seconds back from Tony Rodriguez.
You might be able to see James's breakfast on top of that car, but you're riding on board. I think Tony's going to play it safe. You'd imagine he should play it safe. You can't afford to risk it for the biscuit too much. Or risk it for the Happy Meal too much at this point. But yes, you can see he's patiently. I think if this was like, you know, dying stage of the race and you're about to lose his championship, he would probably be doing a couple of little sends here. But for now, biding his time, knowing that he is still essentially the championship leader at this point, as long as it stays where it is. So I think he's just going to size it up at the right time, at the right place, as he's been doing all season long there, James.
Yeah, Jake Hanlon has had a little bit of a tap further down as well. Alex Lee's got about a second gap. This is your closest battle currently on screen with Tony Rodriguez. Half a second, 0.4 back from Charles Ho. But let's see how this one works out as we go under the 50-minute mark. 49 minutes remaining. We've got 9 minutes till the pit window opens. They have got a 20-minute window here on the ACC to be able to go in, get pitted, and then come back out again. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. Don't forget the new season starts in July 10th at Barcelona. If you want to get yourself involved, you can just join the Discord below and come and get involved here as well. And you never know, we might see you on the track, and you can be on YouTube and be like, hey mum, I'm on the telly.
Mum, no hands.
Yeah, Mum,
as I take this corner at 200 miles an hour. Wouldn't suggest that. Tony is definitely taking his time here at the moment. You can see how much power he has. He's clearly the faster car, but I don't think he's willing to risk it too much just yet. He's got time on his side. Certainly keeping us entertained as that battle also for P2 and P3 is brewing. And we'll keep an eye on the other battles out there. Hope you're enjoying yourselves. So let us shout out there in the chat which car you would like us to follow, who you going for, what do you think's going to happen. No rain on the horizon, unfortunately, there, James. It looks like clear skies at the moment for our finale race.
Yeah, Michael Gilbert, Jake Hanlon, I believe, went off track. I believe he has recovered, but he is there with Michael Gilbert currently at the moment. These guys battling away down in 16th and 15th. Edgar Lau is unfortunately been off track and not looking too good for
Clipped
Edgar.
a car too, James.
Yeah.
I believe just a clip from somebody there.
Eric Chu is down in 3rd place. Eric, of course, is chasing down 2nd place man, which is Jason.
He's got to get this, James. He's got to get this, knowing that Tony Rodriguez could be looking for an overtake just a little bit behind him as well. So Eric's got to give this everything. He cannot afford. Needs to have this car separating him and Tony Rodriguez in this championship. He needs a P1, of course, and hope it goes a little bit pearl-shaped down the road to Tony, but he's getting stuck up behind. Now he's got to get that loud pedal there, James. He's got to get this done somewhere. Could it be down the main straightaway into turn 1? No, I don't think so, because it's a sweeping right-hand corner.
We are just coming around into turn 5 currently at the moment, and then we're going to be looking at going up the inside here.
Oh! He's backed off. He realised it. And I think Tony in the background just backed off as well. Now, Tony did get through there. Yeah. Tony did get through. So Tony's just down the road currently at the moment in P4.
He's chasing down these two guys in front of us, which means Eric Chu, Jason Ludwig. They have had contact as well. Eric ran into the back of Jason, nearly spent Jason round. Jason did manage to hold it on track and is still managing to sit in third place currently here at Car. But it's getting close. It's getting really close here as well. So how are the points awarded in this championship? Well, they earn points from 16 all the way down. So the winner gets 16, and then 15th place gets 1. So they come down in increments. So 16, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And they will earn points that way. So I hope that clears that up for you, and that gives you a better understanding of the point system. If any other questions, let us know, and we will do our best to answer them here as well. As we jump down onto the front splitter of Eric Chu. He's taking a move over Jason Ludwig. Has he tried to get up the inside? He's not. He's going to jeopardize his exit, and here comes Mr. Rodriguez. Mr. McMurk Happy Meal is on his way with my breakfast flying along, currently at over 145 miles an hour, the fastest double big sausage and egg Big Mac here in the entire ACC. Well, there we go.
I'll try to post those points out there in the chat for you. I can't do both of them, but if you look at those points at the moment, just do your math on that one. So 1 is 16, 2 is 14, 13, so forth. Forget about the spaces and all that jazz. It gets a little confusing on that one. YouTube isn't the best when you're copying and pasting, but hopefully it'll help. James mentioned.
Yeah, one look back from Eric Chu's car. He is fighting. There is Tony there. He's coming, looming in that McMurk Mercedes, looming all over the back of him currently at the moment. Eric Chu's looming all over the back of Jason Ludwig as well. There they are, the three of them are going to be in this little freeway battle here. 45 minutes on the clock. Oh, Tony's going to make them move as they're going into turn 14. Through they go now. Oh, I thought Tony was going to get in there, Biggles. I'm not going to lie. He is close.
I think he's still pacing his time there, as Jake had a little bit of a spin. That's back at, keep your eyes peeled in this picture, of course, but Jake had a little bit of a spin. The 49 machine feared the cage, of course, representing his team. Sees back in P18, but continuing the action, of course, where you have the camera peeled right now, James, is crucial, of course, in the championship, as you see Tony Rodriguez trying to bring it to the number 8 BMW. Patiently. Hard to overtake around here, James, as you've seen so far.
Yeah, it's not the most easiest place, and they've got to be doing it together. I don't think you can sit back and, try and battle side by side, because I think it will end up in tears. So it's got to be a facilitated move here, with both of them working together, which would be ideal. But as you say, these guys are coming out round sunset currently, and it's never going to be an easy one to be able to get done, I feel, as well. He's trying to go around the outside of Jason Ludwig, and that was a move by Eric Chu. Rodriguez is trying to get through as well. Unfortunately for Ludwig, he's now down into third. That was a sweeping move around the outside of Eric Chu there. Job done for him there, Biggles. Absolutely stellar job.
He needed to get it done. He needs a buffer between him and Rodriguez. There's further action, of course, further down with Mr. James Mnemonic as well. He's battling it out with Arthur Chu. So Chu's involved absolutely everywhere at the moment. And of course, we can only show you one camera at one time, one action. And that was a great little battle as they were going for it too for now. But definitely, I'd have to say, the battle for P2 is where it is. Where's Eric Dong? Way up the road. Almost 3.5 seconds now, James.
Go inboard here with Chu. He's chasing down James Namak in front of us. We have gone kilometers ourselves into pure and utter darkness. So it's a good job we know what we're looking at. And now are the sector times for the drivers on the bottom right of your screen, sorry. And you can see how they're getting on in relative to each other. The battle up front is still getting hot. It's still, oh, was that something around the wrong way? No, maybe it wasn't.
No, I don't think so.
No, but Rodriguez, Toe, Ludwig, Chu. Going to be close coming the end of the race here, Biggles. I can see it now. And they've all got pit stops.
Oh, mate, there is. You've got this train now behind Mr. Chu. You got Ludwig, Rodriguez, Ho, and Shen on the borderline. And I wouldn't be surprised if the 86 machine there of Mr. Sergio Ma who's the leader in the AM class, and 3.7 seconds, 3.5 down the road, doesn't start catching him soon. So we'll see how that pans out. Has very interesting turn names. Mentions the wait what. Of course, if you do read it, the S's, the cheetah, the crocodiles. There, of course, it's South Africa. You're going to throw those corner names at you.
I'm surprised, you know
Lee
what?
Coop.
I am surprised that as well, Biggles, that we haven't had an Australian racetrack named a corner called the Dingo or something like that.
Yeah, I know. They should probably rename Bathurst some of those corners in the Bathurst, like the Roo corner and all that sort of jazz and all the other marsupials that have been crawling on track throughout the years. You never know.
Tasmanian Devil.
Yeah. Oh, it has to be down the Tassie tracks, mate. You don't really get to go them, unfortunately, in either Aero Racing or ACC, but we've got action all over the track. At least 3 battles on track, if not 4. James, on your timing tower, everybody can see there to your left-hand side, so you know when it goes oranges and reds that you'll know that those cars are very, very close together.
Yeah, they are, and Alex Chen here is battling away with Charles Ho in front of him. Rodriguez is up the order. He's trying to get past Jason Ludwig. He needs to keep the gap down to Eric Chu as low as he possibly can. Australia Barbecue, see? That'd be a good call to name.
Barbie. It's a Barbie, B-A-R-B-I-E or something like that. Or something like, yeah, we don't just call it a full barbecue. We've got to shorten it. We're Aussies.
The Barbie 180. That would be a long...
It's McDonald's as Macca's, remember? So, I mean, they didn't even advertise that in Australia.
Here we go. Can Tony make this move past Jason Ludwig? They're losing time to Chu. Rodriguez knows it. He's 1.8 seconds now to Eric Chu up the road. He needs to clear Ludwig soon as possible to be able to maintain and cement his place as this year's champion in the pro class. What is happening in the AMs? Well, Sego Ma is currently in 7th and Jack Wishmeyer is in 9th with Michael Hillo in 11th. Nick Show is down in 14th place currently at the moment there as well. So it's going to be even more interesting to see how these guys get on. But Rodriguez needs to clear Jason Ludwig sooner rather than later, Biggles.
Yeah, and he's trying at the moment, but he might be creeping a little bit of frustration because he's got a couple of cars tucked up behind him. This is helping Mr. Chu, the road, with a little bit more of a smile on the face. As I said, he had to get past Ludwig. He had to, because that gives him a buffer there as Ludwig is now slowing the pack down. Maybe Ludwig, of course, is working on a different strategy. We don't know how they're preserving their tyres and stuff like that, but you know, at the moment, it may be frustrating Mr. Rodriguez. Should have a pit stop for the 420 car in P9. I'll try to keep an eye on that AM points balance there for you too, James, so I can, because that's going to be very crucial, knowing that Sergio Ma is in a healthy lead there with Rich, Lee, and Chris way down the field.
I'd be interested to see how he's going to get on Sego, to be fair. He comes into this race, of course, in the championship. Currently in the AMs, he's 57. He is 9 points back from the leader as we speak. Yeah, so we'll have to do some maths in the process to work out what he would be here with Richley in his current position. But we will keep you updated with that one. Rodriguez is still stuck. He's still stuck behind Ludwig. He cannot get through. Can Tony Rodriguez at this moment in time? He is all over the back of Jason Ludwig as much as he possibly can be. And this is what Ludwig sees, the Lumen Merc Mercedes here on ACC on the JPB YouTube channel. And well, still not happening for Tony. But I think currently at the moment here as well, he is on for currently 12 points. Chu is on currently 14 points, so even on that one, Eric Chu can, maximum Eric Chu can get in, if he wins, he can get to 71. So Tony only needs 10 points, which is all the way down in 6th place. So Tony needs to finish higher than 6th with Eric Chu in 2nd. So if Tony drops below 6, then he's going to be in jeopardy of losing the championship. But Eric Chu will need to win for that to happen. Biggles needs a car livery that represents Aussie Barbie. James has the 55 Mercedes. This is also true.
Yeah, fair enough. We get that one organised perhaps in the future. Give you a little bit of an update there on the AM class. Now, Sergio Ma my friend. If you get 16 points, essentially... Now, we're talking about a race win or we're talking about a class win, just to confirm that one, James?
Class win.
A class win. Well, if he gets that class win, James, he'll get 16 points. He'll get 73 in the championship. And that, at the moment, especially with James down, well, maybe James. Have a look at James in that class win, but you got to Mr. Lee. Rich Lee's leading that championship. Is plump last in the class. I don't think it's going to have enough points. So Sergio Ma, if he continues this at the moment, he may very well steal the AM championship from P3 going into this race.
Well, we'll have to do some quick maths in the process there as well and find out if it is a positional score table or if the points are AMs and pros. So the AM winner gets 16 and the pro winner gets 16. You know what I mean? Is it progressive all the way through or is it class specific?
He'll still win it, even if it's the case. He'll still win it because essentially, Mr. Chris in the AM class is P14 or something like that in the class, so it's not enough at the moment. Sergio's looking good for the AM class.
Sego Mark there, looking tasty.
Sergio, yeah, Sego. Sego, that's it. I got it right eventually.
Okay.
Took how many rounds?
Five,
Right.
5 or 6. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Nobody saw it. It's all right. Don't worry. It's not going out to millions of people on YouTube. You'll be okay, I'm sure.
But then again, that's my style. I'm the Biggles butcher of names. Everybody knows that.
Oh,
Can't be myself if I don't butcher people's names. Nick Snow goes into the pit road. Show, not Snow. God, I butchered that one too, James.
We've got a question in chat there as well. What is allowed to be done on the cars in their one and only pit stop? Well, they will need to change tyres. May not have to fuel, but depending on how they get on, but they will need to definitely change tyres. And I'm pretty 100% sure that is the correct situation. So they will need to change tyres if nothing else on their pit stop. So yeah, that is what they've got to do. And yeah, they've got to be able to do that. So
speaking of those pit stops, James, we'll see how that pans out for Mr. Rodriguez. Probably being a little bit tired of being tucked up behind that battle you saw earlier. So now obviously electing to go into the pit road first of the rest of the runners that are up the road there. So we'll see. I'll keep an eye on his times there for you, James, to see what he's cranking in. Because Mr. Dong leading this race at the moment, last lap by 43.5. But Mr. Chu, a 42.8 and a 40. So Mr. Chu is the quickest essentially on the track right now, James. As our man from the Sergio Ma at the moment from the AM class goes in his pit road. So we'll keep an eye on those crucial times and we'll see when Tony does that hot lap around here after his pit stop, what he can crank, because he's got to be targeting those 42s lower.
definitely has it here as well. Segomar is in the pits. You will see it go green very, very shortly. Jake Hanlon battling away further down the order here. Jake in currently 21st place, battling away with Nick Show as they go round turn 5 in through Sunset. I think it was actually Nick that may have been involved.
Stop showing off with how you pronounce his name correctly, James.
Well, I did emphasise it. Nick Show. But I think it was Nick that was involved at the beginning, to be honest, with O'Dors. So yeah, so I think that's why Nick's all the way down where he is. Rodriguez is bouncing up through the order. He's now in 11th place, but there are still people in front of him that have not pitted. So it is literally everybody from Tony Rodriguez in 11th forward has not pitted yet.
And he just responded, James. He got a 42.3.
Yeah,
that is the quickest man on the track after that pit stop. So we'll have to see how the rest of the field, especially Mr. Chu, is going to be responding to that as Eric Don goes into pit road. He is the fastest lappers too, the man that's leading this race, the 69 machine. So I think he should have enough there to be able to not easily, but clear Mr. Rodriguez. No problems. He comes out of pit road. And Ludwig as well too goes into James.
Jason Ludwig is into the pits. Tony Rodriguez is there currently at the moment. He's going around turn 10 through Lekop, Lekop sounds better. Whatever.
You have to do it in a South African accent, I imagine. It sounds like a very South African Mineshaft with 2 on 12. They are interesting names, as Wait What said out there in the chat earlier.
Yeah, they definitely are. Is Tony going to be able to get anywhere near Eric Chu? That's going to be the question. Eric is still in the pits, if I'm not mistaken. Oh no, he's back out.
No, Eric's still out. Eric's still out.
Eric hasn't got in.
No, he hasn't. But his last lap was 44.
So
and you got to think that Tony doing 42s now. You would have to be calling Eric in. You can't be afforded losing 2 seconds a lap right now with Tony Rodriguez putting these laps in.
Yeah, no. Tony has now cleared Jason Ludwig. So Ludwig went in and has now lost that position to Tony Rodriguez. So Tony is collectively in 3rd place here.
Oh, baby, if they don't come tangling here.
Don't come tangling together, because that wouldn't be a good idea. There was contact with him and Eric Dong, and he has got past Eric Dong as well. So Tony could, after the pit stop cycle, get into 2nd place.
It could even be 1st place at the moment, because remember, Eric Dong was putting some blistering fast laps in. He was leading this race. Eric Chu was, 3 to 4 seconds down the road. Tony's just made that up. Got past the race leader. We're still expecting, obviously, the other drivers to get in there, Mr. Chu to go in. So I don't know. If Chu's still continuing to do 44s at the moment and Tony Rodriguez doing 42s, I'd say Tony's got let ill into this race.
Yeah, Eric Dong's got the fastest lap on a 1:42.507. Tony Rodriguez 1:42.337 is his best lap. The Dong has been quicker than Rodriguez, but can Dong do that over and over and over again? That's going to be the question for Eric Dong. Can he produce them lap times over and over and over again to stay close to Mr. Rodriguez? Well, time will tell. Here, as we're in 5th. Well, we're in 5th place at the moment, and we've got half an hour remaining.
How long is Eric going to stay out? Now, is it his brother or his family member? Arthur's gone in.
Yeah, well, he's only got 10 minutes left of the window, so he's got to change. Yeah. He's got to go in at some point.
And now he's picked it up a little bit. So he's 43s. He was in the 44s. I'm talking about the number 8 driver that's leading this race currently at the moment. But Tony Rodriguez is at 42.6. I don't know how much more Mr. Chu can afford to lose a second or so a lap currently at the moment to Tony Rodriguez. So it wants to, no doubt, Matt, the McHappy Meal, Matt driver at the moment, wants to be very, very happy on the top of the podium and win this Drivers' Championship in style by winning P1, the final race.
I think so as well. And the leaders are literally on the back run down through the down through turn the Crocodiles 14, I believe that would be. So through turn 14, and then they're going round now as well. Chu is in.
Yep, there he goes. Chu's in.
Yeah. So
I just saw that he took a very slow exit out of the corner. I thought he made a mistake, but here he is. I think Rodriguez has got him, James.
I don't know, mate. He's quite far back. Not gonna lie. Quite far back.
But I mean, considering Eric Dong was leading this race earlier, and he got out just behind him and managed to get past Eric Dong, and Eric Dong was sitting quick laps. I just have to say, we're hoping that there's going to be a nice battle here for sure.
Oh, Tony steady. Coming down into the final corner. Eric Chu still there. He's still sat there.
Could be painful now. He's going to hear that car go zooming by, isn't he? His pit garage.
Yeah.
Just like that.
He's gone. Tony Rodriguez has jumped Eric Chu. Chu's had a bit of an incident. No, he's coming out of the pits. He's okay. He's up and running. Is he going to get out in front of Charles Ho?
Oh.
Oh, no.
And who's that coming through? Oh!
Well, we saw that one live, and that unfortunately was Alex Shen, who literally just torpedoed Charles Ho there. You can have a look back, you can see what happened to Charles. But yeah, did not look too clever. Watch Alex Shen absolutely come up the inside here. Watch this flying Porsche comes around the corner. There it is.
Yeah.
Boom. Straight into the side of Charles Ho.
Day late and night late and $1 short on that one.
Yeah, it definitely was. It looks like he managed to get round okay though and get himself back up, but he's now in 9th place. currently. JB Alcabar is the only man.
He's
Who
just gone in,
has a
James,
bit-
too. I was
yeah.
about to say, he's got to come in now.
Surely that's going to open it up to Rodriguez taking the victory, right?
Yeah, Rodriguez got a comfortable lead, for sure. But Eric Dong in P2 is still keeping him honest, James. Remember, he has the fastest lap, so he has the pace to keep it with Tony Rodriguez. He has time on his side, 26 minutes. Now, I'm going to help him in the championship, stealing the Drivers' Championship for the Pro Class, but he could steal a race win away from Rodriguez, and that's what, no doubt is what's going through that driver's mind right now for the 69 via the cage machine.
Yeah, Tony is now in first place. He did get
And Tony just
JB.
had the fastest lap too, just to add injury and insult a little bit there.
Dong come back. Dong did a 142.
Oh, Dong did come back, you're right.
142.087 behind him. This is Jake Callanan and Nick Show. They were very close together a minute or so ago. And we're doing an absolutely stellar job there as well, they were. And now Sego Ma is also here in 7th place. He's battling away with Rob Lau in front of him. Of course, don't forget Rob is 2nd in the championship, only 3 points behind Mr. Rodriguez. But if Tony takes the victory, it is all over. I'd just like to point that out.
Yeah, we know that for a fact. I mean, even in the top 3 at the moment, it's all over. What do you do at the moment, Sergio Ma? Now, if you are the driver up the road, it's the Lau. It's not a fight. Lau, remember, is in the Pro Championship. The AMs is Sergio Ma. So unless he's trying to help his team out, we'd have to clarify those teams. I would have to let Sergio through there and just let him just go cruise on by, because Sergio's once again on a different class at the moment. And Sergio doesn't need to get past him. Sergio is leading the AM class.
Have you ever seen a racing driver let somebody through for no reason?
Well, it depends on the team's championship, James, more than anything at that point.
Well, Rob Lau's in 2nd. Sego Ma's team is in 5th.
Okay, so there would be no point whatsoever then. Yeah, just race on then. Game on.
Oh, Sego sent it on the inside of Mr. Lau. Rob backed out and allowed him to have it, but I think Sego Ma did manage to get that position away from Rob Lau. Rob is not loving Kyalami currently at this moment in time here. So unfortunately for him, he's now dropping down the hill. He's going to try and send it back up the inside as well. It's not going to be happening this time around. These guys fighting it out with 24 minutes on the clock here. And let's see how.
Yeah, because his battle,
out.
James, is with Eric Chu. Now, at this point, with Tony leading this race, it's the battle for the P2 in the Pro Championships that they're thinking about. He would have to be thinking about for sure.
Yeah. He can't be jeopardising his championship fight either.
Yeah. Yeah, P2 is a P2, you know. Yep. I'll take that any day of the week. P3, either way, one of those drivers are guaranteed.
Where is he sitting?
Tony's guaranteed a race win, but at this point, a championship win. But wants that P2 really in the Pro class.
Rob's on 9 points, right? So he's going to finish on 67. Eric Chu is sitting in 3rd. Eric's going to get 13 on his 55. Rob needs that position. If Rob does not get that position away from Sego Ma, Rob, by my calculations, will lose 2nd place in the championship.
Yes, so it's crucial. He's going to have to do that.
Yeah. It is imperative that Rob Lau does not lose another position to Charles Ho. If he does that, then he is in deep, deep trouble of losing 2nd in the championship here. Because I've got Eric
Now he's still in hunt.
No,
yeah.
I've got Eric Chu on 68 if it stays where it is, and Rob on 67 if it stays where it is.
But you got to remember too with Sego Ma that he's not want to give up the position because he's still battling for his AM championship class, and he needs to be as far as he possibly can from Mr. Rick, who currently at the moment didn't have that horrible start there. He's down in P25 overall, and Chris Monic 74 machines down in P21, so he's still looking pretty good to steal that AM class championship. He doesn't want to be yielding in those places. To perhaps come down to, when you counting your cookies in a cookie jar, isn't it? Or your jelly beans in a jar to see if you're going to guess it by 1 or 2. Is it by 1 or 2?
Definitely does not want to be doing that. We are looking back from Rob Lau to Charles Ho, Alex Shen to Jason Ludwig, Eric Chu to Alex Shen. They are fighting it out here, the 3rd, 4th and 5th and 7th and 8th battling away here on this Kyalami circuit, of course, here in South Africa. Gonna be interesting, and Mr. Lau needs to move up. He cannot be sat fighting it out with Charles Ho here. He needs to be trying to get onto the back of Segomar and take that position away as quickly as possible.
David Bowie would say, of course, and Queen, under pressure. It's all coming down on you right now. 21 minutes to go for the final race of the season. There's a slow down card. Does not wanting to get a part of that party there. James cleverly says, look, you know, I know you guys are going for tooth and nail here in a critical championship fight. I'll let you be.
Yeah, that's one of the team Red Bull cars there behind him. I wouldn't want to get myself involved in that either. Oh, Chris Wong has been off track. Looks like Chris has had a little bit of a diver. Rich Lee has moved now up into 23rd place. But Rich is in 23rd. Fortunately for Rich, was involved in a little bit of an incident on lap 1 that dropped him all the way down the field. Alex Shen and Eric Chu battling away with Jason Ludwig behind him. Ludwig in that Porsche. And Eric Chu is in front currently in the BMW fight as well. So it's all getting a little bit close here, and we're going to have to pull out the abacus soon, Biggles, and figure out who's winning.
We've got a thing called transistors since then, James. We've got calculators. What's even more interesting, of course, in the Sunday Driving Racing League, James, is that how cool these lads are. And, of course, sign up for the new season that's coming up very soon, as you mentioned. These boys are cracking straight into it, aren't they? Under the whip, bang, let's go racing again. Is that they're all in the VC together, essentially, James. All of them. So you'd imagine that they're talking to each other and communicating to their opposite, you know, their enemies, essentially their mortal enemies on track, going, hey, well, I think they're communicating, well, if I get ahead of you, then I'll beat you in the championship. No, if you get ahead of me, you have to win by X amount. What do you think would be going through their minds?
Pressure. I think any good racing driver, and these guys are that, I think they would have worked out where they need to be come the end of the championship fight to be in what position they want. So if, for instance, you know, Eric is going to go for second, he knows he's got to finish in front of Rob Lau, and Rob cannot lose a position to Charles Ho. Let's put it that way. If Rob loses that position to Charles Ho, it is imperative that he does not do that, because it will drop him behind Eric Chu in the championship. So he needs to make sure he can hold at least Rob back, Charles back, sorry. Otherwise he's going to be even down even more points.
Well, if you're driving, of course, and you're listening to them in the VC and they go, and somebody's like, oh no, oh no, and well, almost like moments like this you're listening to, you got to be wondering if you're the other driver that's up against them going, what do you mean? Oh no. Does that mean I've actually like gained something or not? Like other drivers communicating?
Yeah. Wait, Watts put it down though. Psychological warfare in the voice chat. Yeah. I mean,
I'd be interested to listen on that one, James, and find out what's going on.
Charles has got in hot. I thought he was going to run him around the outside. Didn't get him done this time. Rob manages to hold on there. Pulls the old switcheroo on Charles Ho. And unfortunately for Charles, he's going to have to go again. He's still behind Rob Lau here. As you can see, we are in the depths of the night time at Kyalami. And what an interesting one it has been. Is Rob just about to lose? I tell you what, Charles is looking so racy all over him currently with 17 minutes remaining.
He's got to give everything he's got because it's the last race of the season. Of course, they'll be racing again very soon, as you said, in a couple of weeks. But for now, this is your last race to prove what you've done for your championship hope, for your team, all the effort you put in, and of these 6 rounds. Make it work. Of course, the close battle, of course, between P3. You'd have to say Eric Dong has still been keeping Tony Rodriguez honest. And there's contact, James.
Oh. Got to let him through.
That's a love tap, maybe not of all love taps that you want to have.
Is Chu going to let him back? Is Charles Ho going to let him back through? Yes,
Looks like it.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Right.
Let's race on now. Good sportsmanship.
Now the fight commences here with Charles Ho and Rob Lau after their little bit of contact. Jason Ludwig is now down in 5th place after this round of pit stops. Alex Shen doing an absolutely stellar job in 4th between Eric Chu and Jason Ludwig, of course. There is another battle down here with Rail Toba. He is fighting away on track with Alex Lee, who is just in front of him there in the BMW. But these guys should be able to look at coming back together. Rich Lee is down in 23rd place. So an absolute stellar job from him on his way back through, of course, after being dead last and about a minute behind anyone. So yeah, he's coming back through the field there quite nicely. He's got to get a little bit further up to maintain that AM lead, I think, and hopefully he might be able to move up a few more positions.
You tell Rich Lee in 23 position, the 909 machine?
Rich Lee in 23rd, yeah.
Yeah, that's not enough, unfortunately.
No.
That's gut-wrenching for him, isn't it? It's only basically a first lap incident that perhaps have cost him the AM championship right now.
Yeah. Must be tough for him to lose it here as well. What a great season. All these gentlemen drivers are out there putting on a great show, and can't forget about the commentary too, says Wait What. Thank you very much for that. Who are you really? Like, I'm sure we know who you are. Tony Rodriguez.
He's the Stig, mate. He's got his helmet on down there in pit road.
Yeah, Tony Rodriguez just broke the 141 barrier, 141.812 currently fastest lap.
Wow.
Yeah.
And they practically even matched as well too, as Eric Dong did a 41.867, so nothing between them but a 1.3 second gap.
Yeah, absolutely flying along. Further down, of course, this is Mr. Beltover with Alex Lee, and then in front of that you got Matt O'Dore with Nick Show. Both gentlemen in that Porsche, of course. In the Porsche, of course. On the Porsche, of course. So they
James is a poet and didn't even know it.
Going around turn 1 on to 2 currently here as well. Alex Shen's, it's really weird because every time I come down the order they all start drifting away from each other, and when I go and pick somebody who's like really close they end up dropping back again. So
Do the opposite, James.
well, I've gone with Alex Shen. There's 2 people there, Eric Chu and Jason Ludwig. Let's see what he can do in this one. We're going into the last 14 minutes.
He tells. Your thoughts out there so far, James? I think we both predicted Tony Rodriguez after his essentially a poor qualifying start, avoided some of the early collisions and incidents, and got the luck of the stick on that one, and currently at the moment leading this race by 1.5 seconds. But we've had a bit of an accident, James. We've had a bit of an accident down. A little bit further down, 6:15, and a couple of cars been involved here, James.
Yeah, Jake Hanlon is off. We can have a look back and see what he's been up to. What does he do to himself here? Does young Jake? Oh, he gets
spun on himself, but does he get collected? No.
Oh no!
Oh yes, it does. I thought there was another car involved.
Yeah, Nick Show. Nick Show there. Poor rejoin from Jake Hanlon, and unfortunately for Nick Show, that is what happened. As we are back to live pictures, Nick is still on the side of the circuit, I believe.
Probably frustrated that he just spilled his water bottle all over himself on that one.
Yeah, well, you definitely...
Code Brown moment, isn't it? Coming out of that corner and seeing that car come back on the track there. Fear the cage. Yep, well, you have to fear the cage, unfortunately, on that one.
Yeah, poor Jake Hanlon, not surrounding himself in glory, should we say. Unfortunately for him, Giles Ho, half a second back from Rob Lau. A little bit worried about Rob here, I'm not going to lie. He could end up losing second place in this championship.
Yeah, especially. And he's got a gearbox full of a Ferrari there, of Charles. And that's not Charles Leclerc, that's Charles Ho, of course. The off-course racing team. just all flows, doesn't it? Out of the mouth, James, perfectly. Oh, that's not the way he exit the corner, and the Ferrari driver got a little bit too greedy on that loud pedal.
Such lovely elocution, Biggles.
Elocution? Execution?
Oh, I don't really know.
It's early in the morning for you, my friend. I'm done and dusted, having to move and pack and move tomorrow as well too. But these drivers, I tell you what, they're keeping us awake, they're keeping us spirited, and why not? It's been a fantastic season, hasn't it? This is the finale. Don't you forget out there, if you are listening, sign up for the new season coming up soon. As you said, we do have some of the new drivers in here getting a taste of the spoonful of Vegemite makes the driving go round, perhaps, for the Sunday Driving Racing League.
Oh, Vegemite.
Never heard that term before, have you? Then again, Crufty, don't you go stealing that one. He's stealing some stuff from James in the past. He better not be stealing that one from me.
Then again, who eats Vegemite? It's like eating Marmite over here. It's disgusting.
Yeah, well, a spoonful of Marmite makes the medicine go down, doesn't it? Or around in a motor race.
I don't know, mate. Whatever it is, Marmite is disgusting. Jason Ludwig right up behind
Oh!
Alex Shen. Literally, he's trying to go around the outside. Is he going to run him around the outside? Is he going to be able to make that work? Can Ludwig keep his foot in that Porsche? He's got the inside line now as well around Alex Shen. Shen's holding him up. Got him held in there around turn 4. What about on to turn 5? Can they hold him here? Can Alex Shen hold back Jason Ludwig? Ludwig's dropped back a little bit. He's still 4 tenths out at the moment. So let's see what they can do here. Tim Tam sponsorship next season.
Yes!
Who?
Oh, I missed the old Tim Tams. Very soon, my friend, I'll be having them. Everybody loves Tim Tams, James. Surprised you didn't get him in the UK. Who's just moving off the track there to get out of their way, of course. I think that some of these drivers might get really risky right now, James, knowing that they can see what they can do here with 9 minutes and change for the finale of the season. You will see possibly some late dives that might not occur if you were on the previous penultimate round or any of those ones earlier in the season.
What are Tim Tams?
A delicious chocolate biscuit that you have not tasted, obviously, so I don't know how to explain. A burst full of delicious flavors in your mouth with one bite.
Okay.
Oh, coming back on track, that went a little bit wide there.
Oh, Eric Chu. Like Eric went off track. Let's
Yeah,
have a
he
quick
did.
look. Put on a replay, see what Eric Chu's been up to here in the BMW. Does he just overcook it? Does he hit the curb? And now down to
The curb hit him, James.
Oh no, he runs wide. There's a back marker on the inside there. There's the back marker behind him. And that's 24th place, man. That is Joseph Lai, who come back on and unfortunately was in front.
What's crucial as well, too, is that in P20 now, Rich Lee goes up. So he makes his place up in the 99. Remember, he's the leader of the AM class. Now, let me work that one out, too, for you, James, to see how that's going to crunch out for that class.
Right, while we leave Biggles doing the maths, Eric Santos looks like he's just taken a little bit of a dive out of track here as well. He has Charles Ho. Oh, steady, Eric. And he goes and on his merry way once more. Charles Ho still battling away with Rob Lau. Gap's now on 1 second. They are starting to lap people who, as we know, brings their own problems when you're lapping a car in general. So we'll just wait for Biggles to do some quick maths. He's just told me...
It's close, James. Now, if we are once again going from the AM classification in order...
Yeah.
So if Sogo Ma is currently leading the AM class, if you're going in the point system from there, and you go down to Wishmeyer in essentially P2, which is P10, you can see on historic. So that if that's the case, then Rich Lee has now got himself tied on equal points with Sogo Ma.
Right, okay.
73 apiece. How's that going to pan out then, James? You go roll back to race winners?
Race wins, yeah.
Race wins.
I think
Interesting.
I think Rich Lee would have that.
I think you're right on that one too, because remember he is leading championship 68 points prior to this one. Sergio Ma 53. Sergio Ma will get you 16, and Rich Lee will get your 7. That's going to be very, very spicy. So even though Tony Rodriguez looks like he has this one wrapped up, no problemo for the pro standings, we still have that title decider for the AM standings, and of course the team standings will start crunching numbers on that one a little bit later on. See how that pans out.
Yeah, if he goes to wins, Rich has 1-2, Sego's only 1-1. So if they end up drawing, it is a system. So 16 for the winning AM, 16 for the winning pros.
Okay.
So currently with Rich Lee,
He's done it, mate. And Plump Blast has just got himself enough, and there's nothing whatsoever that Sergio can do now because he's already in the lead. He can't go any more up.
well, unless
He's just going to have to sit there and just hope that something happens to Rich Lee again.
which seems a bit sucky that he's got to sit and hope that something happens, but he's just not got any other choice, unfortunately, for him.
Yeah, but considering, remember, he's third in the championship going into this race and potentially right on the fence of winning it, you'd have to be pretty proud with that.
Yeah, I agree. Last 5 minutes here on track at Kyalami, and it's been a very exciting evening with Biggles in the background. He's taken off his shoes and socks just to count, I'll let you know.
Oh,
I know, I like that one. That was
the
good.
shoes and socks are off, my friend, because I'm about to get ready to go to bed after this one, because usually I'll be like wide awake. Going to pack up and move into the city, so I know how many there's more or less thunderstorms and electrical problems and internet problems that I've had out here in the jungle, James, but this race hasn't had any of those problems. Optimal temperature for the track, it's 20 degrees Celsius air, 20 degrees Celsius track. Just 11 km/h winds, nothing really to worry about. Perfect way to end the season for some of the drivers. Not so much for some of the others, but they're all in the chat together, no doubt, there, James. So they'll be all congratulating themselves in the next 5 minutes to go.
No, they're definitely are. I'm just trying to pick up where Tony is currently at the moment. Tony is at the top part of the circuit here as well. So he is running around the Crocodile and then coming down into Cheetah and then Ingui before we go off on another lap. He should get about 3 laps in here before the end of this race. Of course, he controls the pace of this, so possibly even 4 more laps before Rodriguez.
Don't recommend running around crocodiles.
No, and I'm surprised Rodriguez. He's got, what's he got back at the moment? 10.4, 3.1 seconds. So he could back off a little bit if he really wants to try and manipulate the time, but I don't think Tony will. I'm just saying it's an option. If
He's got the fastest lap too, James, but that was something to mention, actually. That's curious. I don't see any points for fastest lap. Can you verify that?
I think it's just the current score system in its current state, to be honest.
Okay, because I was just wondering how that would pan out. Oh, obviously, he's got the fastest lap anyway, so it wouldn't affect the AM standings. That's probably a little bit more important than Tony's domination this season with the James breakfast burgers, breakfast double sausage McMuffin and egg McMuffin on top of his motor vehicle for the McDonald's machine.
Told you, fastest breakfast on ACC at the moment. Not many people.
Thank you, right on that one, James.
Yeah, not many people can stem and have that title, I'll tell you that much. But there we go, as we wait and see what happens with Jason Ludwig here and Alex Shen. These guys battling out for 3rd and 4th place. 3 minutes left on the clock. Where is Mr. Rodriguez? He's coming back up into the Crocodiles once more. And we are going to have at least 1 and 1 more here before Tony comes over the line.
I'm just curious if Jason's going to maybe take a late dive there on Alex Shen for the P3 position, because they're battling it out, James, at the moment. So they know he's got to give it everything at the moment. You got to remember, Mr. Eric Chu's just a little bit further down the road, so they make a little bit of an error, and they are going a little bit off track. You could have a bit of a 3-way party here, so Tony Rodriguez might have to sit back and watch this one in his mirrors, because here it is, James.
Eric Chu's just cleared Jason Ludwig. They're running side by side now, all the way down into turn 1. Eric Chu in the BMW, Ludwig in the Porsche, of course, in the Porsche, of course. And here he goes round the left-hander. Is he going to be able to hold that line And it looks like he's got it done. Eric Chu overtakes Jason Ludwig near enough on the final lap of the race as well. And what a job it was for him to be able to get clear in there.
I told you, James, at the end of this, you know, considering it's the last lap essentially of the last race of the season, you're going to see some drivers do a little bit more maneuvers and dive bombs and things that they wouldn't regularly do, knowing that, you know, once again, Tony's got the championship sealed and dealed. Whether these two drivers, how they're going to pan out with the rest of that point systems for the pro class is going to be something decided 1 minute and change.
Yeah, Tony is coming round now, coming up that long street straight from Mineshaft up to the Crocodiles. Goes past Joseph Lau once more. We're focusing on this battle. There is Charles Ho, of course, in 8th and 9th, still battling away with Rob Lau currently.
And what a season. Tony's going to be pretty proud of himself, hasn't he? And you said, James, well, the car of choice to be. Over to you, James.
It was the Mercedes. Tony is going to come round now. He's going to have one more lap.
Oh, I thought I was going to get you to call the race end.
No, he's going to have
anyway,
one more.
the choice of car. Oh!
Choose up.
What's happened to Eric?
What have you been up to, Mr. Chu? Double up.
It's got to be by himself here, isn't it?
Yeah, he looks like he's too far back. I'm wondering if there's a back marker involved in this. Just wait for it to go cycle through.
He's taken that corner way wrong, hasn't he? Did he clip the back? Yeah, I think he might have clipped the back marker of the 305 machine that was like just getting off the racing line, not being one on part of that party, but they caught them at a crazy. It's like catching grandma on a freeway, isn't it? 100 miles an hour, and she's doing 20.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. I had one of them on Friday.
And she's like hugging you. You can barely even just look over the steering wheel, and here comes James, and I mean, get out of my way! We've got to get to McDonald's. Come on, it's going to close in 10 minutes.
Man's got to eat. Move your bum.
Oh, it's unfortunate, but I don't think he's got too much to lose at this point. He's still currently running a P5. I mean, that championship was all done and dusted when Tony got the lead of the race through those pit stops at the end of the day by putting the boxing early for Tony and putting the banker laps in paid off, isn't it? That's the reason why that man wins, not just on pace, but also on strategy.
Yeah, here we go. Tony Rodriguez comes round for the final time here this evening at Kyalami in South Africa. He's going to win the race. He's going to win the championship, and a massive job. Well done for Tony Rodriguez there, and Eric Dong will come across the line in second. And Alex Shen manages to hold on to third place there. So great job from him. He holds on from Jason Ludwig, who comes over the line. Eric Chu will come over the line behind that one, as well as does Sego Ma. Sego, 16 points for him on the board here, Biggles. How's he getting on? Is he still tied with Rich Lee, who is in 20th place?
Yep, I think Rich Lee still got it. I think so, because he got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 9th place gives Rich 7 points. So they tie, I believe. They tie, but then it goes to Rich Lee on race wins. That's certainly close. That'll be decided soon. We'll get that verification, James. But how close could you be? You got to give it to Sergio Ma too, man. You got everything he got. He dominated in the AM class. Look at that. He's even dominated half the pro class. Fortunately, just slipped through his fingers, it looked like.
Yeah, we'll wait for Matt O'Dore. He will be the final finisher here this evening. Going to be coming over the line for Matt. Your winner is Mr. Tony Rodriguez there, as you can see at the top of your screen. Gives it to you in nice big letters. Round the final corner for Matt O'Dore. They're going to be taking that checker flag. Absolutely stellar job from them. So well done to him. And here is your results. Tony Rodriguez is in first, Eric Dong in second, Alex Shen third, Jason Ludwig fourth, Eric Chu fifth, Sego Ma sixth, Rob Lau seventh, Charles Ho eighth, JB Alcabar in ninth there, and Jack Wishmeyer in 10th. Behind that, we've got Arthur Chu, Michael Hillo, James Namak, Michael Gilbert, Matt Odor, Eric Santos, all the way down here. Rail Tover, Chris Namak, Alex Lee, Rich Lee, and then Juan Namak brings up the end of the grid of 21 cars involved here on this race around Kyalami, and what an absolutely epic ending it has been. So stellar job from all of these guys. Don't forget as well, if you want to get yourself involved, you can. There is the season 3 schedule. Practice sprints at Watkins Glen on the 26th, and then we start the season for round 1 at Barcelona on July 10th, and then sprint races at Valencia that they will be trying out on July 24th. 7th of August is Imola. 21st of August, on my birthday, is round 4 of Zolder Hungaro Ring on September the 4th, and Kota, which will bring double points on September the 18th. We will keep that up on your screen, so if you want to get yourself involved, you can. And don't forget as well to join the league and the Discord down below, because that will be absolutely amazing. Let's have a see if we can move Tony into the waiting room, and then we'll have a chat with Mr. Rodriguez. Tony Rodriguez, welcome in. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good. How about you guys?
Mate, I'm not doing too bad. I've just had the world record set for the fastest travelling breakfast meal ever. So I'm proud of that.
Yeah, man. McDonald's does it. We deliver quickly.
You definitely do. And you delivered yourself the Pro Championship.
Thank you, sir. That was a hard-fought race, especially with Eric. We were doing identical times for the second half of the race, and it was rough.
But you did it.
Yeah, we did it.
Well, surely that's got to be worth celebrating, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. It was super fun. I mean, the beginning of the race was it was difficult. I didn't quali well, and I just had to gather myself and go, and that's what we did. So, whew, I'm sweating.
I bet you are, sir. I bet you are. I'll tell you what, that was a bit of a rough one, because you know, I didn't think you were going to make it at all there when you started dropping, when you was in 5th or whatever it was at the beginning. But you did an absolutely stellar job, mate. Going forward, onwards and upwards. Season starts July 10th for the new one.
What's that?
The new season starts on July 10th?
Yep. New season starts on July 10th. We have a practice race on the 26th. We're changing up the formats a little bit, and it's going to be a really fun season, especially with all these people that have joined at the last bit of it. It should have pretty full grid next season.
Yeah, well, hopefully we will see you back on track, young sir, and look forward to seeing if you can come and defend your championship once more. Anyone you want to shout out before we let you go this evening?
Yeah, as always, shout out to Yumna. She's watching from somewhere. She's out tonight, but and then shout out to my teammate Jawan. You know, he's been great running the McDonald's with me and doing the liveries like we do.
Yeah, and what a stellar livery you guys have come up with, even if I do say so myself.
We'll have something good for you next season too.
Yeah, but just don't tell him to change it to green, otherwise he's fired.
Yeah, right. No green. No green.
No green, definitely not. But Tony, thank you so much for your time here, bud. And
Thanks,
well done
James.
and congratulations once again.
Thanks, Dean. Have a good one, guys.
Take care.
It's McDowell's, by the way, James. It's green.
I don't want to go.
Yeah.
I don't want green. Right, now, I think we need to bring in... Hold on. Working something out here.
Beep, 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 beep. Calculating.
No,
Calculating.
I'm not calculating.
Look at it.
I want to grab this gentleman here in the booth here, and we're going to bring in Mr. Chris Namak. Chris, welcome in. Okay. Chris.
Christopher.
Hello,
Hi.
mate.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
I'm not bad. Welcome into the booth, bud.
Oh, good to be back. I haven't been here in
In a long while.
a while.
Yeah. How was the race?
Tough. Qualifying was slightly slower than I would have liked it to be, and then
there was a big crash somewhere in the beginning. I think the second lap or so. I got a bunch of wing damage, and it was just really hard to control. And then I ended up crashing by myself. So yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, but at that point, Chris, too, remember, Rich also crashed out. So both of you two Top Guns battling it out for the AM Championships had to start practically at the back of the field there, while Sergio just went on screaming on by.
Did Rich
The
crash?
luck
I
of the draw.
Don't even know.
Rich Lee had a spin,
Yeah,
and
he
he went into pit road as well, mate, and cost him a ton of time. He was in his plump last at one point.
Oh man, where did he finish? I don't even know where he finished.
He finished down in 20th, we believe.
Yeah. But overall, that was
What
the
was that,
thing that
James?
we were talking about. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying James cut out mid-sentence.
I said he finished round about the 20th place.
Overall.
Oh.
But we
Okay.
believe in position-wise, ended up finishing 9th, which gave him 7 points, which tied him with who was Sergio.
Sego Mar, yeah.
Sergio, that had won in the AM class. So we were following back to, obviously, we'd go on most race wins to win the championship, right?
So where does that put me then? I wasn't paying super close attention to.
So where did you end up?
Third, my
Where did you
third,
end
my
up
friend, I
finish?
think.
You finished. What position was you in, Chris?
I was 18th overall.
Oh,
18th overall. So where was you in the middle of the AMs? That's the problem, because you get separate
I have
points.
no idea.
Oh, blimey.
yeah.
I was just trying to survive.
Did you finish ahead of Rich Lee?
I
Did,
wasn't
yeah.
aware if I did.
Yeah, it must have
If you
done.
did, then you would finish. You would have. Yeah, but I don't think you were ahead of him. If I'm mistaken.
The problem is the drivers have left now, so it shoots the time
Yeah.
into it shoots the tables around, doesn't it?
Yeah, we'll check the results later, but
Yeah, it's going to be
my
close.
race was pretty boring until the end there.
Well, look, at the end of the day, going forward, new season's going to be ready to go, kicking off. Everything's going to be hunky-dory. Lots more drivers on track. Different formats coming into it as well, Chris. It's going to be an exciting one, right?
Oh, very. We're definitely bringing in some new stuff for the new season, and I think it'll shake things up for sure. And also, we're predicting a 30-car grid next season, so it should be pretty hectic.
Awesome stuff. Well, Chris, thank you so much for joining us there, bud. Anyone you want to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Yeah, shout out to the entire community of SDR. Like, literally can't do any of this without you guys. And also to you, James and Dean. Awesome broadcast all the time. My dad for being my teammate for this season. It was, he's really good at setting up cars now, so I don't really have to deal with it anymore. I just drive the car. And also, shout out to my girlfriend who's watching this and me trying to catch up with last place.
Awesome stuff. Well, Chris, thank you so much for joining us there, bud. And we look forward to catching up with you next season.
I'll see you guys then. Have a good night.
And you, Mum. Right, so there we go, guys. That brings us to the end of another season of Sunday Drive Racing on a Monday with myself, James Parfitt, and Dean Biggles into the booth. But don't panic, guys. We will be back on July 10th here as well, kicking off another season of what purely has been an absolute epic end here as well. Biggles, sum it up for us really quick.
Sunday Drive Racing is absolutely awesome.
Well, there you go, guys, as well. So from myself and Mr. Dean Biggles for this season, we will see you all on July 10th. But for now, guys, take care. Have a great week. And you never know, we might see you on the track sometime. Good night.